Meat and other protein prices are up 20% since last year. So it's time to stock up on what you can before they go even higher. I'm going to tell you what I'm doing and give you a little background information on what's going on. All right, folks, welcome back. So I'm going to give you a little background information on what I'm doing to prepare. Again, you can do any way you want. The idea is to just get prepared. Some of the reading that I've been doing lately on the whole food supply situation has been kind of scary and kind of freaky. I mean, demand has been so strong for proteins and meats, but it's been hampered by multiple factors, and one of them has been the labor shortage. You know, it's resulted in food products taking much longer to get to producers and supermarkets. You also have the fact that you had really bad weather this year in parts of the U.S. That's only worsened the supply situation, and global constraints from imported food have made it horrible too. You have that whole situation in Ukraine and Russia with the wheat. You know, these are large importers of things, and while they're at war, they're not busy making food. So families on a budget have been paring back their red meat on their menus and their proteins, as beef prices have risen more than 16% last year. Even as prices for red meat have begun to dip a little bit from the pandemic highs, it's really too late for a lot of people who are financially strapped by this point and have made the switch to other proteins like pork and chicken, which isn't a bargain either. You add the extra bite of inflation on other goods, and everything from gas to clothes, it's taking a bigger chunk out of the food budgets as prices rise on everything. They're up to a 40-year high, up 7.9% from last year. So people have less money to shop with. One of the articles I read said that even Walmart, which is the largest and lowest cost grocer in the U.S., has raised prices dramatically, and I've seen that. This was according to Gordon Haskett analyst Chuck Grom. He surveyed budget retailers across the country in late February this year and found the average prices at Walmart and Target and the dollar stores were up 8.1%. And we've seen that. You know, the Dollar Tree is now $1.25 tree. Now add in the fact that beef prices are set to rise even higher because feed costs are rising for farmers. They can't get the feed, and what they can get is way, way more expensive. So American shoppers have started to substitute other proteins and reduce their overall meat consumption. And that's why I'm telling you now, before things become unobtainable price-wise. Things are expensive, I'm not going to lie to you. You know, some of this food that I'm showing you here, it's just an example of some of the stuff I'm stocking up on from Freeze-Dried Wholesaler. The prices have gone up. You know, you have my link down below where you can save 15%, but still, the prices have gone up. It's just a reality of what we're facing today. And my point with this video is to make sure that you guys get out there and get something. It doesn't have to be Freeze-Dried Wholesalers. You could go anywhere you want and get some meat to put in your freezer before things get to the point where you can't afford to buy it. Now, one of the articles I read said basically pretty much get ready to spend more at the grocery store and food prices are expected to soar, and that's from the USDA. They predicted that. It was a story from USA Today that said, you know, if you think paying $10 for a pound of bacon, $10 for a pound of bacon, or $6 for a pound of butter is bad, it's about to get a lot more expensive. Pretty soon you'll be paying even more for just about everything when it comes to eating and dining out. Interestingly enough, dining out is probably one of the highest increases across the board, which kind of tells you maybe it's not a good idea to go out and eat out every night. According to this article from USDA Food Price Outlook for 2022 in March, all food prices now are predicted to increase. The increases are the highest in decades as grocery stores get more expensive, and they rose so far 9% over the year. Now that's this year alone, since January. They've risen 9%. So the USDA Economic Research Service updated its report predicting a 4.5 to 5% rise in food prices this year. And again, eating out, they said, is going to be 5.5 to 6.5. So global food prices have rose to their highest from March on. Also, like I mentioned before, global food prices rose from their highest ever in March because of the Russia invasion of the Ukraine, and that's cost us a lot in the arena for grains. Both Russia and Ukraine were big grain exporters, and that's cost us a lot at that end of things, and made some shortages too. So you got cooking oil, cereals, meats, they're hitting all-time highs. They cost a third more than the same time last year, okay? And the Russia-Ukraine war has disrupted Black Sea exports of crucial commodities from a region that was producing more than a quarter of the world's wheat exports. So next time you go to the store and you realize the bread's in short supply, you might want to stock up on a few extra loaves. And you can freeze bread or you can make your own. That's another thing that I tend to tell people, if something's too expensive, learn how to make it. I've done that for bunches of things in my life. When I couldn't afford something, when I couldn't afford power banks and power stations, I started making my own. No, they're not going to be as powerful as ones I've shown you, but they still work for their intended purpose. So learn how to make items that become too expensive. Now, the last article I read was from the World Trade Organization. They said basically rocketing global food prices as a result of that war could trigger riots from countries who are poor. So you want to head that off before it comes here. Now is the time to stock up so you don't get caught in anything like that where you live. We remember how stupid people acted over toilet paper, right? We all remember that. You can't imagine how bad that's going to be when they're fighting over that last package of steak, which is $96, or something that's going to be ridiculous. And I would have even told you, 2 or 3 years ago, this will never happen. That's crazy. Now we're seeing it happen. Now we're seeing stuff get out of control. So I'm going to give you a quick little look at some of the things I'm stocking up from freeze-dried wholesalers. Don't let that stop you from hitting the store and buying some chicken and beef or whatever. This is just what I'm doing. I already have that stuff. I'm looking for something a little bit more long-term storage, and most of this stuff is good for 25 years packed the way it is. So that's kind of my deal with it. But by all means, if all you can afford is canned food, canned meats, go out there and get it. You don't have to buy from me. I'd rather see you get prepared. One of the things I did want to give you an update on with freeze-dried wholesalers is due to their very high demand right now, some products are back-ordered and it may cause shipping delays ranging from 2 to 3 business days. Some of them might be up to 2 to 3 weeks. However, if you place an order, you will get all that order. You may be missing a few things, and if you look on your sheet there, when the shipping label or the shipping sheet they give you, they'll say these are coming in another order. So I want to take a second here to show you some of the stuff that I've picked up. Again, I got another one of these freeze-dried filet mignons. Yeah, that's a luxury item, and yeah, they're expensive, but they're really good. Freeze-dried pulled chicken, freeze-dried uncooked chicken breast. Interestingly enough, the stuff hydrates very quickly. I was thinking this was going to be a long hydration thing. It hydrates very quickly. You just stick it in water, and the next thing you know, you have a raw chicken breast. It's also really good. I got the pulled chicken. We used that the other day in a video. Ground pork over there. Got some ground lamb. I plan on doing like gyros, some people call them. I call them gyros. I plan on doing that for a recipe. I'll show you that. Behind that we have, let me see if I can reach over there, pulled pork. I've got some hamburger patties, meatballs. The freeze-dried meatballs are awesome, and they do hydrate fairly well, and the freeze-dried sirloin steaks. Now again, like I said, you don't have to buy this particular stuff. If you find something that you want to get prepared on that you can afford, by all means do it. My channel isn't about selling you only one item. More, it's encouraged to get out there and get you prepared. So that's just my little video for the day. That's what I see going on in the world as far as food prices and the predictions from a lot of the articles that I've read. And I've done a lot of reading on this stuff in the past couple of days in preparation for making this video, because I wanted to make sure that things weren't getting better. I know that sounds weird, but I wanted to make sure that I should actually bother. If there's no reason to warn people, why would I make the video? So it does look like all of the indicators from all of the different economists and the USDA and all that are saying food prices are going to go through the roof. Also, cooking oils. If you can get yourself your cooking oil squared away now. I haven't noticed that much of an increase. Maybe 60, 70 cents on certain cooking oils here and there. But you definitely want to start thinking about it. Anyway, folks, like I said, this stuff, you get my link down below. You'll save 15% on your order. If I can save you some money, hey, it's good to go. So if you click the link, shop as you normally would. When you get to the end, you will save 15% on your order from freeze-dried wholesalers. They are shipping stuff out very quickly, and like I said, sometimes they're out of something. He has a bunch of freezers on his work area there, his property, and a lot of the stuff is already frozen. He just has to defrost it, dehydrate it, and send it out. So he did stock up very well for this, but still, they're running 24 hours. They're running with a big crew there. They are prepared for this, but they're working hard to get you the food out. So definitely check them out. The link will save you 15% below. That's my Amazon affiliate store. You guys know about that. We have our My Patriot Supply. If you're looking at getting started, all right, you have nothing, and you're like, what do I do? Got a 3-month kit on sale there for $150 off. So click that link. It's preparewithiridium.com, preparewithiridium.com, and you will be set on that. Also, too, if you prefer Thrive Life, I must say this stuff is on par with Thrive Life. It's very clean food. There's not a bunch of preservatives in it. But if you prefer Thrive Life, you can order it down below at my store. You don't have to join anything. You can become a consultant if you want. You can become a delivery customer if you want. But it's not required to try out the food. You can just order stuff like a regular retail customer and try it out. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Please, whatever you do, get yourself your proteins and your meats now. It's going to skyrocket over the summer. All right, stay safe and stay prepared.